In this class, we'll discuss about what do you mean by the pronouns. Let us dive into this. In this pronouns, what we'll see is, first of all, look at the definition point of view. So where we use pronouns? So we all know that the pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. So that's a simple definition. Generally, we learn in the high schools, right? So now what we're going to do is we'll look at the proper definition here. Okay. So look at here. That is, a pronoun is a word that replaces a pronoun is a word that replaces the noun to avoid repetition and simplify the sentences. Okay, so what do you mean by that here? So a pronoun is a word which replaces the nouns and also to avoid any repetition and also to simplify the sentence. So that's the reason why you use a pronouns. Okay, so now coming to the point here, that is why we use a pronouns and all this stuff. Now if you look at a very simple example here, look at this example. Ram is intelligent. Okay, here we know that Ram is basically the subject. Okay, and Ram is basically noun. Okay, and is some verb, and intelligent is the object that you are going to say something about the noun or something about the subject. Okay, now what is happening is the very first sentence, the subject plus verb plus object agreement was fulfilled here. Okay, so it actually followed the proper grammatic rule in English. Okay, subject, verb plus object has been fulfilled here. Okay, so we know that subject is basically a noun. So here the intelligent the object is also a noun. Okay, so we know that here noun plus verb plus noun. Okay, it has been fulfilled. Now what happened here is whenever there is a repetition of the same subject, okay, whenever there is a repetition of same subject, then what happens is, so here look at here, he studies hard means Rama studies hard. Actually what is your intention to say is, your intention is to say Rama studies hard. So likewise, whenever you are talking about something, a subject, so you wanted to repeat the subject several number of times. So in English grammar, like any language, here also there is a facility, that is the use of the pronouns. So what is this pronouns is? So when you use these pronouns, you can actually simplify the sentence, and you can what we can say, as I said here, so you can not only simplify it, then also you can say, so you can avoid the repetition of the nouns. Okay, so for that basic main reason why we use this pronouns. Okay, so here now look at here, he says he is basically became a pronoun. Okay, so this is the pronoun here. So now the pronoun is the subject, studies is the verb, okay, and hard is the object, that how he is trying to do. Okay, so he studies hard. So that's, so don't worry about, that's a reflexive verb here. So all those things and all happen here. Okay, so what happened now? You wanted to replace just the subject, you want to replace the noun for repeating, you want to avoid this repetition. So that's the reason why you are using a pronoun. So in such cases, these pronouns are very useful. So if you look at the pronouns, okay, there are several kinds of pronouns, and we will look at one by one here. So coming to the types of pronouns here, so the types of pronouns are you have a very big list here. Okay, look at the list here. Personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, reflexive pronouns, emphatic pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, distributive pronouns, and reciprocal pronouns. And there is another pronouns called as a expletive pronouns, or we can call it as a dummy pronouns. So that is just we use it for example, we don't specify what kind of a actually the noun that we are actually specifying, we just specify it. Okay, so that we look at all the examples. Also, these are the varieties of the pronouns which we have in English grammar. Now coming to the point here, the next point, that is the first one is let us dive into the first pronouns here, personal pronouns. So when you look at this in personal pronouns, so what I have done is I have made a tabular column here. So in this tabular column you can see the pronoun, how the pronoun is going to be acting as. Okay, so just before only I have given some example here stating that this is a subject, this is an object, and all those some grammatic rules and regulations, something, right? So you just don't worry about all those things. Just look at here a simple form here. For example, if you want to frame a sentence in English, okay, say for example, I love you. Okay, Rama is a boy. Okay, then something like that. Okay, so all these things can be framed into a format here. That what is this format is here. Like this format. Okay, so this is the subject, this is the verb, and this is the object. Okay, I is a subject, love or is, so this is also a verb, you are a boy is basically an object here. Okay, subject, verb, object. This is generally the simple basic English sentence structure pattern. Very simple one. Okay, subject, verb, object. Now look at here. This for example here, when I want to say what is this, generally when I want to use this personal pronouns, okay, so what is my name? My name is Srikanth. Okay, so instead of saying Srikanth loves so and so, Srikanth loves so and so person, so what I will say is just simply I love you. Okay, so here I became the subject. So instead of saying Srikanth love you, okay, or Srikanth loves you, okay, then here what I'm saying, here I'm directly saying that here that I am taking myself as a first person singular. Okay, so that pronoun I have used a first person singular here. Okay, so when this same thing, when I want to specify me as an object, so now what I have done is in the very first case I specified I myself as a subject. Okay, now if I want to specify I myself as an object, means look at here, you love me. So here the same person I has become an object here. Okay, so you is the subject, means you is the subject now, and then I'm talking in a second person singular, so you love me. Okay, so that's the reason why actually, so I'm using my name as a, so me as an object, so the pronoun has become object pronoun. Okay, so likewise all these things. Now there is a other cases here, that is a possessive adjective. So this is not basically comes under this pronouns here, but it acts as a possessive adjective here. At the same possessive adjective, so can also be converted into a possessive pronoun here. So we'll discuss the possessive pronouns in a coming up topic here, but right now you can see the configuration here. Okay, so you are my love, you are my love. Okay, so here my has become an adjective, so you are my, so actually what I have done is you are love, so I want to, so I can actually say that you are love, so but that does not specify here any meaning here, because this is also a verb, so love is also a verb. Okay, but when I use this adjective, okay, so what happened is this verb actually converted into noun. Okay, so are is basically a verb and there is no change in it, and you is basically the subject and there is no change in it. Okay, subject, verb, object. Okay, so subject, so now noun is basically an object. Okay, so you can say now, because we have used adjective over that respect to so we have derived what we have done is we have derived the verb into a noun and converted the verb to a noun, and then that noun became an object here. So that's the meaning of this one. Okay, so subject, verb, and object. So here, so you are my love. The same thing, you can use this possessive pronouns here. So this possessive pronouns here are, so this and the same, we can take the same example here. Okay, your love is mine. Okay, or you can say, so anything. Okay, you can convert this to your dog is mine. So something you can convert that sentences whichever the format you want. Right. So likewise, we can see some examples. Okay, we love you. Okay, you love us. The same. You are also we hit you. You hit us. Okay, so we can convert the same way. Okay, so you love, so this is a singular person. Okay, you love yourself or you love me or something, so you can convert that all those things into picture. Okay, so this is the way generally we can frame the personal pronouns. Okay, so look at the personal pronouns. The personal pronouns when it is in the form of a subject, so it is like I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Okay, so what happened here, I would like to use this one, the form of a slide here, that is a I is basically first person singular. Okay, then second person singular is you. Then third person singular is he, she, or it. Okay. Now the same thing we are going to convert into plural here. So the first person plural is, so for I, it is going to convert it into we. For second person, it is going to convert into you, becomes, we'll convert this into, you is basically the same you. Okay, and third person, this we, you, they. So this is the way actually we convert that the pronouns here. Okay, so in the form of a singular or in the form of a plural. Okay, so look at here. So first person singular is I, you, he, she, it becomes third person singular. Then so this the only difference in this case you have to mind about is this point here. So what is this point is, so third person singular and first person and second person here. If you can carefully observe here, okay, so the first person singular second person and plural second person, you will have, say, there's no change in the pronouns here. Okay, so it always comes with a you. Okay, so this one. So for example, you can actually look at one example, like by taking a verb to understand that, to understand what I am going to convey. So here look at here. Okay, I dance, you dance, He, she, it dances. Okay, yes is added here. Okay, then we dance, you dance, they dance. Okay, so this is the point you just have to remember in case of pronouns. So second person plural and a second person singular, both are same. There is no any difference. Okay, and coming to the point here, there is a third person singular, he, she, it comes under the same category. Then apart from that, if you look at the differences here, there won't be any differences here. Okay, so I, you, so there is no need to write 2 times. Okay, you is used for both a plural and singular. So for singular and for plural, we use both same pronoun. Okay, so for example, what do you mean by you means if I want to address one person, so you are that boy. Okay, you are that person, you are that girl. So if I want to address that way, so I have to use you itself, you as a pronoun itself, the same pronoun. If I want to address complete class, you guys are hopeless, you guys are intelligent, you guys are, so means what I'm saying is, so I'm trying to show you I'm addressing complete class, or I am addressing everyone in the audience. Okay, so means even though they are plural, even though I am addressing a singular person, I don't have other option here in personal pronouns. I have to use only a singular word. So that's why I am giving you the simple example here. Please mind about it. Okay, so a singular second person, you is same for singular, plural second person, same word. Okay, there is no any difference here. That's one point. Then coming to the next one, that is called as a reflexive pronouns. So in case of a reflexive pronouns here, why we use the reflexive pronouns? So that's what actually important here. What do you mean by reflexive pronouns, and why there is some difference is called as a emphatic pronouns. So in emphatic pronouns also we use the same nouns, same thing. Okay, we don't there is no change in it. Okay, so reflexive pronouns and emphatic pronouns, almost we use the same words here. Okay, and so in case of a reflexive pronouns, what is the main logic here is whenever we are using reflexive pronouns, it is used when the subject and object are all same. Okay, when the subject and object are same person. Okay, so means I love myself. Okay, I love myself. Okay, some names, something. Okay, so it means what happened here is I is the subject, love is the verb, and object is myself. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is here, so something happened, so the subject, I want to say something about the subject, and then I'm trying to use some respective verbs here, and then the object is also same respect to the same subject. Okay, so in such cases we have to use, so then the only option we have is a reflexive pronouns. Okay, so reflexive pronouns will give us this option here. Okay, you did it yourself, right? So you did, so like that examples. Okay, you did it yourself. Okay, so both the plural, is a singular, and the you is also a plural here. So like this. Okay, so for a reflexive pronouns, if you look at the options here, okay, I becomes myself, you becomes yourself, he becomes himself, she becomes herself, it becomes itself, then we becomes ourselves, you becomes yourselves, the same thing. Okay, so here there is one small difference here. So you becomes yourself, right? So this is basically a plural singular form. This is in singular form. So when you are addressing in the plural form, that is a you in a plural form, it becomes a yourselves. Okay, so instead of F, you have to add VES. Okay, so that's one important thing you have to remember. So this comes under category of a reflexive pronouns. So then what is the difference between the emphatic pronoun? So the emphatic pronouns are also same as that of a reflexive pronouns, but used to emphasize the subject. So what do you mean by emphasizing the subject is here, whenever you want to say something that you want to stress the sentence that you have done such sort of a thing, or else so no need to you should not use the verb in between here. Look at here, I myself completed the project. Okay, so what happened here? I is basically the subject. Okay, so here subject is a noun. Okay, then I myself. Okay, so here it's basically the subject. You have already given the addressive subject here, means you have already said what is a noun here. Okay, then again you are going to say myself, means you have stressed the subject twice. Subject twice. Okay, so this is also a pronoun now. I myself. Okay, what happened means what you are going to do is we are going to say something very important now. Okay, because you have brought the subject twice in the row. Okay, so now this is basically considered as a single subject. Okay, I myself. Okay, now means this completely considered under only the single subject. Okay, so the subject 1 and subject 2. So because you had been side by side here, so it becomes a subject, the complete subject itself. It does not take as a twice subject. Okay, there is no rule like two subjects here. Okay, so subject like it is not there in English. Okay, so it both I myself, when you brought this this emphatic pronoun, then it is considered to be the completely one subject here. It means it's what you are going to say is very important. Okay, so this all comes under a single category. Subject did this. Yes, it did something. Okay, did the project. Okay, so what do you mean by this? So what you are going to convey here? So what you are trying to convey in total here is this did is basically the verb. The project is the object. Okay, it basically agrees with the simple basic structure here, sentence structure, subject, verb, object. Okay, so we are not deviating the rule. So if you want, you want to stress something a sentence, and that is, so no need to, in order to avoid the repetition, so I did the project. Okay, I did the project is enough, that's okay. But you want to say that you have taken the complete responsibility of doing that. So you have done, so you completely from A to Z, you are the person to do this work, something like that. So you have done that respect to job or something like that, you want to specify. So in that, so no need to say the details, no need to go the details. Okay, so instead of that, you can just finish it off with a one sentence. I myself did this project. So with like this very simple way you can use. Okay, so for that reason we can use a emphatic pronouns. So that's the reason why these emphatic pronouns will be useful. In such case, these emphatic pronouns will be useful. Then next one is demonstrative pronouns. So this one is emphatic pronouns, right? Now next one is a demonstrative pronouns. So in a demonstrative pronouns, when this demonstrative pronouns are used, it is basically you want to specify something like a point, person, or something like that. Okay, you want to specify that respective noun or the respective thing you want to going to address that. So for that we'll be using a demonstrative pronouns. So in case of demonstrative pronouns here, for example, look at some examples here. Okay, this book is mine. This is the book. This is the pen I was talking about. So those are very expensive shoes. So likewise you can use. So what are these pronouns now? So in a demonstrative pronouns, singular is this and that. Singular becomes this and that. Okay, and for that the plural becomes these and those. Okay, so whenever this, so this book, this one, okay, which is very near to you, and that book which is very far to you. Okay, and for that the same thing, the plural you want to convey, so this becomes. Okay, so this is generally we address when the object is very near to you. Okay, with this, when the object is near. Okay, that is referred when the object is far. That is usually referred when the object is far. Okay, for that the plurals. Okay, so these, okay, so means these books are mine, these pens are mine. Okay, likewise you can say. And so the object, so there is an object, and so there is a chair there, so okay, that is the chair I was talking about. Okay, and all the chairs, okay, those are the chairs. Likewise you can use those chairs. Okay, so this becomes a this is one, this, that is a singular. For a plural this becomes these and those. So this comes under the category of a demonstrative pronouns. Then the next one is indefinite pronouns. So the indefinite pronouns are basically whenever you don't want to address something, like you have to say something like vaguely, you don't know what is that, or else perhaps you yourself might have not known what you are going to talk about, or you don't want to specify the respective point, the respective person, the respective object. So in such cases we'll use a indefinite pronouns. Look at here. So in case of a indefinite pronouns, look at here the sentence: someone is talking, someone is knocking, someone is talking, someone is loving, someone is riding. Likewise. Okay, so everything is fine. Okay, and the basic rules for this use of this indefinite pronouns is you have to use always in a singular unless otherwise it is specified. Because why is this? Because you cannot address all the points, all the people, all the objects at the very same time unless you know what you are going, unless the speaker and the listener knows what they are talking about. Okay, so for such cases what we do is we use a mostly we prefer singular. Okay, so each, everybody, someone becomes a singular, then few, many, both, this becomes a plural. Okay, so don't forget about the few, don't forget about use of article in front of the few. Okay, so that's one point you should be able to remember. Then next point is these are the examples here, some extension to that indefinite articles, so indefinite pronouns here. So if you are talking about a people, then use someone, anyone, no one, everyone. Okay, so the same if you are talking about things by using indefinite pronouns, so something, anything, nothing, everything, like this. Okay, so then if you are talking about the complete universe, okay, all, each, every, both, several, few, many, some. Okay, so these are the extension to that. So we can write some example. Someone is listening, is listening. Okay, so it could be anyone. It could be anyone, like this. Okay, so when you go out with a friend and then you see your friend asks you to have, would you like to have tea or coffee, then you can say anything is fine. Okay, so likewise you can try some examples. Okay, you just try it on your own, you will get this, you will get practice to it. Then relative pronouns. So in case of a relative pronouns, the relative pronouns are used to introduce relative classes are dependent classes. What do you mean by relative class or dependent class? This is the generally the point that most of the students generally do mistake. Okay, so for example, you might have seen some memes also in the Instagram or something. So some woman actually what happens is she'll be cooking, and then her husband will come and say, I have cheated on you. Then the person generally naturally what we do is we try to react with who. Okay, so not with who, with whom. With whom is basically the right way. Okay, so there is a meme on that also. Okay, so with whom, so use a proper grammar and all. Okay, so what do you mean by this with who or with whom? And basically is that here whenever you are addressing the person, then that person generally is basically your, for example here. Okay, say the person, we are talking about a person. So okay, when you are talking about a person and you know that person, then whom usually refers to the object and who refers to a subject. Okay, your husband, your husband came and told you that I'm cheating on somebody. Okay, so here the husband is basically established here. The husband is basically the subject. So the object is the person whom he is cheating, right? So that's the reason why the person becomes a whom. Okay, so likewise, just some memes and all. Okay, come to the point here. Let us let us look at actual examples. So examples here: a man who came is my friend. Okay, so here what is happening is a man who came. You are referring the subject itself. Okay, the man. Okay, is basically the subject, means the person whom I am talking about, that person is my friend. Okay, so here this this is basically the relation but who is basically the pronoun, and the pronoun is the man. Pronoun is the man. Okay, the boy whom I met is not. Okay, so I met, so here I is basically the subject here. Okay, and I am talking about I met a smart boy. I met a smart boy. Okay, so that's the reason why. So I here, if you look at the difference between this both sentence here, my is basically the pronoun. So I is also a pronoun. So you might have get a confusion here. But look at the proper sentence here. Here, what we're trying to what I'm talking about is I met a boy. I met a boy. I met a smart boy. Okay, that is a sentence here. Actually, he is my friend. Okay, so I'm not going to say that he is my friend here. So instead, the person who came is my friend. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is here, I'm going to establish a relation here. So that's the reason why this relative pronouns are relative pronouns are a bit tricky. Okay, so please be mindful about it and then have a look at here. Okay, so the book which I read was good. So the book which I read. So here I become the subject here. Okay, and so that's the reason why this book, the book becomes the relative pronoun, because the relation between I and the book is what I am trying to establish here. So likewise, just keep in mind, there is only one rule here, that is how we are going to use the subject. Okay, so how we are going to use the object. If you are going to refer something that is whatever it is, whether you are going to for people itself. Okay, if you are going to refer that as a subject, then use who as a relative pronoun. If you are going to refer the subject as a, if you are going to refer the object, then refer that person as a who. Okay, that's only the simple rule. Okay, try some examples. Then the rest of the things are very different, very simple here. Okay, so if you are going to refer the possessive things, then you can use whose. If you are going to refer the things, then we can always use which. Okay, which is the book I was talking about. So where are those so books and all, so like that and all. Okay, so then for people or things and all, just you can use that itself. Okay, like normal general things that you can use. Then otherwise everything is same. So yeah, you can use this. The next one is interrogative pronouns. This is also same thing. In interrogative pronouns also we use the same logic here. That is use it to ask questions. Here also same way. When the subject is person, then you have to use a who. When the subject is an object, so when you are referring to, so when you are going to refer the subject, then use who. When you are going to refer the object, then you use who. Okay, so look at here. So who is your teacher? Who is your teacher? Then whom are you going to refer? Okay, so whom are you going to refer means I am talking to you. Okay, and then I'm bringing out somebody. Okay, some person, maybe something like a Sid or somebody. Okay, so I'm talking about this guy. Okay, so we both know that I'm going to refer Sid, so some person. Okay, or else you can use some name. Okay, so don't worry about this third person at all. I'm talking with you. Whom are you going to refer? Means we are talking about a third person, somebody, and then the speaker and the listener had a conversation here. So in that cases, so I'm going to refer whom here. So this whom is basically the third person. Okay, so like this. Here it becomes here, so interrogative pronoun. So this becomes a interrogative pronoun. Likewise, you just have a look at this. So some who's, so which is basically the choice among a few. Okay, so what is basically the general information? Okay, what is that book? So what is this pen? So what is so generally we refer something. Okay, what is the quantum mechanics? What is some name? Okay, what is quantum mechanics? Okay, if you want to ask a question like this, then you can use this what, when, whose. Okay, all this. Then distributive pronouns. So in case of distributive pronouns, with the distributive pronouns are used to refer, okay, refer to person or thing at a time. Okay, example, each of the boys was present. So neither of the answers is right. Okay, for each, so whenever you're using it, so each means singular, either means singular, neither means singular. Okay, so whenever you are going to refer this distributive pronouns, here we use a distribute like this, and like this we use this each. So here look at, so each and everyone has a pen, each and everyone has a copy, either of them were right, so neither of were true. Likewise you can use. Okay, the next one, reciprocal pronouns. In reciprocal pronouns, actually this reciprocal pronouns usually used to show a mutual relationship. It's a very simple way to remember. Okay, and they love each other. So what do you mean by they love each other? Means there is one person and there is one person, and there is a relationship between these two. They love each other, and the students helped one another. So helped one another is there will be one person, two person, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the student may help 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever the relation it is there. Okay, so it may be like this, it may be like this, it may be like this. Okay, we don't know how they helped other, we don't know. Okay, so but they helped one another means, so one to other, like this. In which manner they help, we don't know. Okay, but they helped one another. So they love each other. So you cannot say the students loved one another. So we cannot do that one, because that's it becomes a a false sentence. So they love each other means here, look at here, we know a specific action that has to be take place in such a manner, and so it cannot take in different manner. So then we can use this sentence here. Okay, so each other is basically referred to only two people, two persons. Okay, and one another refers to many, more than two, two or more than two. Okay, so we can say, we can use one another here. I would like to write here, Rama and Sita loved one another. So means when I am specifying these two people here, I can use this two also for one another, but I have to specify clearly the nouns. Okay, so with whom, what are those both? Okay, what are the two people? Okay, what are the two nouns that I am specifying, that I need to specify? Okay, otherwise you cannot use this like this. Okay. So this is the case. So this is a reciprocal pronouns. Then next one is possessive pronouns. So this as just before also in the very first slide we used that possessive pronouns. So possessive pronouns basically shows the relationship between, it shows the ownership. It shows the ownership. So what is this? So this book is mine, not yours. So means this book is mine. We look at here. So possessive adjective and possessive pronouns. Okay, so this is my book, my book. Okay, it becomes this book is mine. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is your pen. This pen is yours. Okay, so likewise you can actually use that sentence like that, okay, whichever the way. Okay, so for his becomes his, then her becomes hers, and there is no double s here because already s sound is there here, so there is no extra s sound here, and her becomes, so it becomes, so it is also same thing. That's okay. So it's your pen, so it's your pen. So it's a pen like this. Okay, then ours, their, theirs. So these are the possessive pronouns for the conjugation here. Okay, then the the last one here, the expletive pronouns. So expletive pronouns are dummy pronouns, means you don't want to address, you don't want to specify what you are going to talk, just you want to say, convey the natural sentence, or you just want to start a conversation. It's don't want to specify which is the point, okay, of a subject. Then we use this expletive pronouns. So here, look at here. So it does not, I have given the definition here itself. It does not refer to anything. It is just used to fill the subject. Okay, so in such cases we use this dummy pronouns, or we can call it as a expletive pronouns. So it is raining. So it is raining means what is raining? The climate. The climate is raining. Okay, the climate right now, it is raining. Okay, so what is the climate? Now it is raining. So instead of saying that starting with the climate is cloudy, so we don't want to say that in a regular fashion, just you wanted to finish off in a very simple sentence. There we use this expletive pronouns. So then these are very simple cases, just to have a look at here and then go through it. But more than that, all these things, we need to look at some examples here. That is the common examples generally most of the students do in a examination. Okay, so there are some at least 5 errors here, which is normally was generally observed. So that I will be explaining here. So common errors and rules and regulations here, if you look at here. So as I said, the first one is a subject-verb agreement. So here, if you do not follow the subject-verb agreement, then it's a false sentence. Okay, it's not a good sentence. So each of the player has performed well. Look at here, each of the player has performed. Why? Each of the player has performed well. Okay, so why you should not have each of the players have performed well? Why can't we use this sentence? Why can't we use this word? So that's most of the students generally who are normally don't know grammar, generally they have a tendency to use have. Okay, because have goes in all the verbs here. Okay, so all the subject, so that's normally the mistake most of the people do. For that reason itself, I have given this I have written this sentence. Okay, you can use I have a pen. You have a pen. He, she, it becomes has. Okay, so the third person singular will carry a not have, it becomes has. Okay, then rest of the things. Okay, we have a pen. You have a plural, you have a pen. They have a pen. So there won't be any difference. Okay, now look, by taking this into account, you just try to solve the exam model here. This is one model, right? Some mistake or mistake. Okay, some error. Okay, try to understand. Okay, each of the players. So each of the players means I am talking to you. The conversation is happened between you and me. Okay, so each means, so here each player. So even though they are players, so I am talking to only one person. Okay, one quantity, we can call it like this. Okay, one in quantity. So one in quantity means singular. Okay, one in quantity. Now the conversation is happened between you and me. Each of the player has have performed well. Okay, so they perform. So each player have performed well means it is not the conversation is not happening between the players. The conversation is happening outside, right? So we are talking about the players. So this each becomes a third person. So that's the reason why this have should not come. This as should come here. Okay, that's a general rule. Okay, so you please be mindful about it. Okay, so you must identify whether it is a singular, and also you must identify in which person it is they are talking about, the sentence is about. Okay, so if you can do that conjugation, then you will not do mistake here. That's the main point here. Pronoun, and so the second error is we can call like this: pronoun antecedent agreement. What do you mean by this pronoun antecedent agreement? Okay, so most of by now, when I'm talking about this rules and regulations and all, so you'd be wondering that actually, so there are so many rules, can we make it or not? Okay, so it's nothing. These rules are generally these are just only the technical details. So what you should do is you should practice, so that through practice you can actually clear all these things. There is no necessary that actually you should be able to remember all the technical details. So technical details are unnecessary to remember. So just a practice, and then don't do any grammatical mistake. So that is more important for examination. So please keep that point in mind. And so let us dive into the point here. That is everyone should bring his or his pen. Okay, so everyone should bring their pen. I have not used their pen here. Why I have not used their pen is here. Everyone is basically what? People. Okay, where people here is someone, anyone, no one, everyone. Okay, so what happened here? So everyone is basically we are talking about, so this becomes basically now, even though that is indefinite, so we don't know how many people we are talking about. Okay, we don't know whether this everyone is basically whether it is a one person or whether it is n people. Okay, so in a class there will be only one person, in a class there will be two persons. Okay, so we don't know that how many people are there. So such reason, for that reason, what we have to use is we have to consider this everyone as only a single quantity, and then for that reason it becomes a singular. Okay, so that's the reason why you have to specify everyone should bring his or her own pen. Okay, otherwise they are not. Okay, so everyone should bring their pen means, so there becomes basically is a plural quantity. Okay, so that actually refers to the more number of a subject here. So that's more number of a subjects. Okay, so that is to be avoided. Now that's one thing. Then next, ambiguous references. So what is the ambiguous reference? So when, say, look at here, when Ramesh met Suresh, he was happy. So who was happy? Both Ramesh is also male and Suresh is also a male. Okay, so both are masculine gender. This is a masculine gender and this is also masculine gender. So we can't even specify whom we are talking about. Okay, so when Ramesh met Sita, he was happy. Means we know that we are talking about Ramesh. So that's okay. So if the C we are not going, so in that way we can actually distinguish between the masculine gender and feminine gender, so that we can, so this guy is actually, the next sentence is basically referring to masculine, so we can say that he is basically the masculine. So here both are masculine, so there is a disadvantage, so there is a ambiguity. So to avoid that, what you need to do is look at here. Ramesh was happy when he met Suresh. So Ramesh was happy when he, who was happy? Ramesh was happy. So that, so when you are using he, this when, this sentence here, this word, so that's why it becomes a it rectifies this ambiguity. Okay, so likewise there are some 5, they're very simple one. Okay, yeah, sometimes use of reflexive pronouns incorrectly. Okay, he enjoyed himself speech. Himself, that apostrophe s. Okay, that is not. Okay, he enjoyed his speech. He enjoyed his speech. So in mixed cases. So in mixed cases, in the sense, so look at here. Me and him went through much. So always, whenever you are going to, look at here. In English, basically, anything happens, you want to say a good sentence, always give credit to the other person first, then share some quantity with you. Okay, my friend and I, my friend and I won the match. Okay, I won the match. No, I and my friend won the match. No, it's not like that. Okay, so if something is bad, okay, say for example, okay, me and my friend lost the pen. Me and my friend lost the pen. Okay, I and my friend lost the pen. Okay, so likewise, you don't use this I, my friend. Okay, me and my friend. Okay, I by myself. Okay, likewise, if it is a bad, then you take the first responsibility and then share with, later on you share with other friend. Okay, so I and my friend lost this match. Okay, so me and my friend lost a pen. Okay, so like don't worry about where you are going to use it, so it becomes basically an object here. So likewise, mixing the cases here. Okay, yeah, so here, look at here. So he and I went to the market. he and I. So this sentence is basically a positive sentence. So always you must credit to someone. Okay. So give the credit to the first person, other person, then you share the credit with you. So if it is a bad thing, you take the full responsibility, then share some minor inconvenience with that, whatever with whom you have taken, that you have to share with others. Okay. So this is the general way to use it in a English pronouns. Okay. So now overall here, to summarize overall this reflexive pronouns, look at here. So we have these types of pronouns. We have personal pronouns as itself as a subject and object, then it becomes a possessive adjective, then we have this possessive pronouns, then reflexive or emphatic pronouns. So reflexive and emphatic pronouns both are same, but the way you are using, that's only the difference. Okay. Then demonstrative, then indefinite or indefinite pronouns itself, we have varieties here. So that is a people, things, and quantity. Okay. Then relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, distributive pronouns, then reciprocal and expletive or dummy pronouns. Okay. So all these are in one slide here. So this I have given this table so that actually you can actually take a reference, and then because everything is in one slide, so that actually you can have a look at it and then so go through the differences, and then you will have a complete complacency or a picture of what you are going to talk, what is actually the subject is. Okay. So for that reason I have given it. So coming to the main point here, the summary of this pronouns here. Basically, why we use pronouns. So pronouns generally are used instead of a noun, and mostly to avoid repetition and also to simplify the sentence. So whenever you're using a pronouns, even the instead of types of pronouns and all here, first of all you should be mindful about whether it is a singular or whether it is a plural. Then also one more point you should be able to remember, that is how these pronouns are used. So whether it is a singular, first person, second person, third person singular, or first person, third person, second person, third person plural. So the basic difference here is in case of a singular pronoun, so in case of this what you can call it as a second person singular and plural, it always carry you as a pronoun. Then that's one point here. Then third person singular will have a separate verb, or else you need to show some difference between the actual verb. Okay. So I dance, you dance, so all these things. But when it comes to a third person singular, the verb will carry extra yes, or else it will actually carry a separate verb itself. Okay. So that's the difference here. You should be very mindful about. So this is the case related to the topic called as a pronouns. I hope you enjoyed the pronouns. So please do subscribe and share this YouTube channel, and then we'll meet again with a new topic. Until then, bye.